Hey everyone, so far up till this point, we have created the static design for our watch list, right? So if I move to my movies component, you see every movies is coming up over here and you have our watch list, right? This is a static design right now. So what do we need to do next, right? We need to basically, let's check our demo first, right? So if I go to the movies component of my demo application, you see these buttons, right? One is basically these two heart eyes button, this particular emoji, and then we have this cross button. So what do I mean to do by this, right? So over here, this button is for add to watch list, right? Add to watch list. And this button, when you have added a movie to a watch list, then you should not be allowed to add it again, right? So then you should see this cross button, right? So if I add this Wonka movie, you see, as soon as I add this to my watch list, I see this cross button. So now I can remove it, right? Add a movie, remove a movie, two functionalities. If I check out my watch list, you see the newest movie, the latest edition, Wonka has been added over here, and which is basically a comedy. And when this comedy movie has been added, you also see the genre comedy. So if I select the genre comedy, you'll be able to filter out the movie based on the genre as well, right? So all of these functionalities we have to implement. But the first functionality that we need to implement in this lecture is we need to create this button. We need to create our watch list, right? So that we can add and we can remove a movie. That will be the motive of this particular lecture, right? So yes, let's get started. So what I have to do first I have to add a button to my movie card. Before adding all the logics, implementing all the features, I just have to add a button on all of my movie cards, right? So what I will do is I'll just move to my movie cards over here. So I hope you can see this. Yes, right? And then we'll just write some code, right? So what do we need to target? We need to target our movie card, and movie card is getting rendered inside these movies component, right? So over here movies component, and over here we have our movie card. So let's go to these movie cards, and for these movie cards, let's add a button for them, right? So over here you see the name, and over here you see the address, right? So this is your postal address, and this is going to be your movie card, right? So let's basically go over here and add movie, basically add an emoji to all of these things, right? To all of the movie cards, right? So whenever a movie card will be rendered, it should always contain a div, right? It should always contain a div. So here we have the style, and the style is getting finished over here. So this is basically our div, and inside this div only we need to add our emoji, right? So let's add it. So I'll just add a new div over here, and inside this div I'll just get the emoji, but you won't be able to get that directly, right? There is a code for it. So if you go to Google, right, if you go to Google, so you can just write HTML emoticons like that, right? And if you see over here, you will have this particular list over here, and these are all the codes for them, right? You'll have to use these codes. So what do we need? We need that heart shaped uh, emoji, which is basically this, right? Which is 128 525, something like that, right? And before these, you have to add these two symbols, that is your ampersand and a hashtag, right? So you need to copy this, and then you need to add this over here like that, and then you just need to get the code for that emoticon. So we just saw that 128525, right? Great. So I'll just get it over here. So as you add this, right, as you add it like this, so now you will basically get an emoticon over here, and with that you need to add a semicolon. Yes. So this entire thing is now an emoticon, right? Let's check this out, that if we're able to see this in our app or not. If I go to my movies and if I go to my cards, yes, you see, you're able to see this at the bottommost part of every card, right? But we do not need this button at the bottom, or if you wish, you can add it at the bottom as well, completely your choice. But as our application has this button at the top. So we need this at the top, right? So we can just give this some CSS properties, this button, right? So we can just give this a little class name, right? So let's just give this a little class name for our add button. So over here, we can just give this some class name. And what we can do is we can just give it some margin. So now it has some margin 4, Let's check this. Yes, so it has some margin, it's visible over here. We need this at the top right now, right? We need this over here. So what we can do is we can just give this some other properties as well, right? So we can give this flex once, and we can give this justify center, right? Flex and justify center. So we have it over here, and then we can just give it some height and width to have it a little bigger. Height and width we have over here. Great. So this is the button right now, and we can give some other properties over here as well. Let's give this items center, and we'll just give this rounded large, right? Let's check this how it looks. Great. So this the icon looks pretty well, but now we need this at the top over here, right? So to get this at the top, what we can do is, let me just check. Right, so to the parent, we can give flex, and we can basically make it flex column, right? If not row. Yes, great. Yes, so this was the just a small solution, right? So basically, you're making this column, right? So you're just reversing everything. It was row, now it's column. So basically, it was coming at the row's end when it was flex row, and now what we have done is we have done the flex call, right? So now it's coming at the end of the column like that. So that's what just a small change that you needed to make, right? It was flex row over here, I don't know, by mistake maybe I wrote it like that, but it will be flex column, right? So as soon as you do this, you will be able to see this particular emoticon over here, right? And now you can just give it some background color if you want, right? So that you can get this background effect as well, right? So what you can do, you can just go over here to your app, right, to your code, and right now you can just give some background color if you want, right? So I'll just give this particular button a background color of gray, right? So class name background gray, and basically I'll make this 900 by 60, right? Just the background that I'm using, right? So let's see this. Yes, this looks neat, this looks good, right? So this button is over here, right? So now what we need to do is we need to click on these buttons, right? We need to click on these buttons, and when we click on these buttons, they should invoke a function, they should execute a function, and that function should add the specific movie for which we have clicked the button to our watch list, right? But now, do we have a watch list? No, right? We do not have a watch list right now. So we need to create a state for that watch list. So all of the movies that we are adding to our watch list will be taken by that state, will be stored by that state, right? So that's the thing about that state. So we need a state over here. So what we can do, we can just go to our app.js, and let me just close all the files first. I do not want you to confuse between so many of these files, right? It gets a little confusing when you have to manage so many files. Just focus on those files that we need to manage, right? So first thing is our movie card, which we have just designed. Second is our watch list, which we will need. And the third file that we'll need right now will be our app.jsx, right, over here. Right, so over here you have this watch list component, but now in this particular file I'll create a state, right? I'll create a state that will manage my watch list, right? So inside my function app, what I will do is I'll just go over here and I'll just say let watch list, oops, let watch list and set watch list, just like that. And this will just have a use state, okay? We'll take a use state, and this will be empty first because right now at the first time, right, when your watch list is getting mounted, you do not have anything in there, right? This is completely an empty array. When you will click on any button, then that movie should be added inside this watch list. So that's basically how the thing should go, how things should go, right? So basically that's why I've created this watch list state over here. And now what we can do, we can basically work on with this state. So what I was saying is, when we see our app over here, right? So when you click on this button, we should create a function that should get invoked, which should take the whole data of this movie and it should add it inside my watch list. That it should do, right? So for that, what I will do is I'll just write a function, right? I'll just say let handle add to watch list, right? So this is going to be my function, right? Just a simple arrow function, I'll create it. So let handle add to watch list and an arrow function, and yes, great. So this function has been created, and inside this function what I want is I want this to take the movie object, right, as a parameter. Basically what I mean by this is, when I'll click on any of these buttons, right, any of these buttons, this function should get invoked by that object only, by that complete movie object, with the poster, with the name, with everything, so that we can get all the details of the movie that we have clicked upon, right? So I need that movie object completely. So that's why I will just take a movie object, and what I will say to this function is that take the movie object, right, and create a new watch list. Create a new watch list, and inside this watch list, what you can do is spread the previous watch list, right? Because you will be doing it multiple times, you will be adding multiple movies. So you need to make sure that you're keeping track of the previously added watch list movies, right? So that's why I'm spreading the older watch list, and then I'll just add my new movie. That's it. So whenever you're handling a watch list, whenever you're calling this function, it will take the older watch list and it will add a new movie to it, right? So if you had 3 movies in your watch list at the first time, you have clicked on the fourth movie. So those 3 movies will be taken first, then your fourth movie will be added. So now you have a list of 4 movies, right? Like that. So this is what it will do. So I'll just say let new watch list and it will completely add this, and then I'll just say set watch list to the new watch list. That's it, right? And just to see it, I'll just console log it as well. New watch list, right? Let's see that if I'm able to get some movies over here or not, right? So this is my state and this is my method, and now I need to pass it down as a prop to my movie card, right? So whenever I'm clicking on that movie card, it should be able to call this function. So that's why I'll have to go to my movie card, and over here I basically need this particular function, that is handle add to watch list, as a prop, right? So that's what I will do. I'll just go over here, I'll just say get the handle add to watch list as a prop, right? So I need this handle add to watch list as a prop. Great. So I have this particular method right now with me, and let's check our app.jsx handle add to watch list, right? So I'm just sending this as a prop, and I also have to send this to my movie card, right? So I've sent this to my movie card. Great. So for my movie card as well, we'll need to send this up. Right, so if I go to my movie card over here, if I go to movies.jsx, and over here I just have my movie card which has the poster path and the original title. So for this movie card in my movies.jsx, I need to send this particular method as well, right? So for this, I'll need to get this method over here. So why not just write that method over here and create a watchlist state, but let it be at the global level only, right? So you can just pass our handle add to watchlist over here as well as prop, right? So let's say handle add to watchlist, we will just get it out. Right, so we're getting handle add to watch list over here as well, and then we can just set it over here. I'll just say my movie card and handle add to watch list. Take this as handle add to watch list. Right, so this is my handle add to watch list movies.jsx, and inside my app.jsx I have this method, right? So now I have the access to handle add to watch list in my movies component, so I'll just pass it down over here as well with my movies component. So over here what we can do, we can just pass our handle add to watch list to our movies component. So I'll just say handle add to watch list like that, right? So handle add to watch list, movies component will take it up. So your movies component will take it up over here, and then we are also sending this to your movie card, so your movie card will also take it up, right? Handle add to watch list. So now we'll be able to use this method over here, right? Of course this is drilling of props, right, one by one, but yeah, this is the way to go right now, right? So now we have access to this handle add to watch list. So now let's go over here and try to call this particular function when we click on this particular button. So for this div which I have written over here, which has your add button, right, over here what we can do, we can just say whenever we are clicking over here, so I'll just say on click. So on click we need to call handle add to watch list, and for handle add to watch list, right, because this is an external function, so I'll have to use an arrow function to invoke this, and then I can just pass in as my argument the entire movie object, whatever movie object it will take up, right? Similarly over here, if I go to my movies.jsx, so for handle add to watch list, I'll have to pass the movie object which this movie card is rendering out, right, which this movie card is rendering out, then only I'll be able to see it, right? So let's do this as well. So inside this movie card, handle add to watch list, and I think it can be passed automatically if I'm not wrong. Yes, it can be passed automatically, right? So it will just take the movie object, and for those movie object it will just render out this card, right? It will just take up that movie object and it will add it. Great. So let's check this out, that if this is working or not. So if I go to my app right now, right, so what should happen, let's see inspect, let's see our console if we are able to see those things or not. Let's refresh everything, and yes, we have these 20 movies. But now if I click on this button, I'm getting an uncaught reference error, that is movie object is not defined in movie card 749. In movie card 749 over here, movie object is not defined because yes, we'll need to destructure our movie object over here as well. So I'll just destructure the movie object. We didn't get it. Oh, I guess we haven't passed the movie object as a prop, right? So if I check movies.jsx, so over here, yes, we need the movie object as my prop, right? So this is going to be my prop movie object, which I've used over here, right? For this prop, we need to pass our movie object, right? Then only we'll be able to get the movies like that. So I've passed my movie object. Now let's check it. If I refresh everything, right, and this is saying that each list should have a unique key prop, right? Each child in a list should have a unique key prop. So let's get rid of this warning as well, and let's give this movie card a key prop as well. So for key, we'll just get out all the movie objects and we'll get their IDs, right? So they will be unique, right? So this error should be gone now. If I refresh everything, yes, so there is no error, right? Class name, okay, where is this error? Pagination JSX 1823. Let's fix this as well. Pagination. Okay. Have we written class anywhere? Add pagination. Let's check this. Default pagination. I do not see anything. Alright, we can just let that warning be right now. Let's check the implementation if the things are working correctly or not, right? So I go to my console, and if I now try to add any movie, so if I try to add this Leo, right, let's see. Great. So I now have one entry inside the array, and which is basically the movie Leo. Great. Now if I add one more entry over here inside my array, let's add Mission Impossible, this movie. Let's add this. And if I open this up, so now I have two entries, and this entry is actually for Mission Impossible. Great. So now we are able to add movies to our watch list, right? So now we are able to maintain that watch list state, right? So let me reiterate again that what we did right now. Okay. So what we did over here is this is your app.jsx, right? And this is your movie card. So for your movie card, you needed a button, that is add to watch list button. So you created this button, right? That emoji thing. You created that and now you have it. When you click on this, you need to maintain a state. In that state, that should be a watchlist state. And whatever movie you're clicking on should go and should get added inside that watchlist. That was the first objective. So for that, what we did, we went to app.jsx and over here we created a state, right? A global state, so that everything, I mean, this can be accessed by every component. That's why I've created it over here in this file, right? So now we have this watch list, and now we needed a function that can work with this watch list, that can basically take a movie and add it to the watch list. So we created this handle add to watch list, right? Which will take the movie object and it will just update your watch list state. That's it. And then we are just setting it, right? Then we are just setting it with the new watch list. Great. And then we are console logging this. That's why you were able to see this in the console. Now how to use this function? So to use this function, what we did over here is first we said, okay, that there are two components. There is movie and then there is movie card. So we need this handle add to watch list to work with both of these components. Basically, we are drilling it through both of these components, right? So that's why what we did over here is we just send this add to watch list first to our movies component, that take this and use this. And then when our movies component received this function, right? When your movies component received this function, that is handle add to watch list, we received it over here on our movie card, right? Handle add to watch list, right? This particular function. And now your movie card has also received this. Your movie card has also received this over here, right? We're again receiving it over here, and now we're passing the movie object that we have also taken from your movies component from over here. We're taking each and every movie object and we are taking the method as well, right? And we are making both of them work over here, that take the object, take the method. When we click on that object, when we click on any movie object, when we click on that button, basically this button, call this function and pass on the movie objects. This will be called and your movie will be added to your watch list, and you will now be able to see your watch list over here. So whatever movies you will add, you will be able to see it over here, right? So like that, you can basically work along with it. But this particular thing is also known as prop drilling, and this is somewhat not right to do. But when we learn about context API, we'll basically see that how can you get rid of prop drilling. So you'll not have to drill properties and methods from each and every component one by one, right? Like that. Alright, so now this particular thing is done, that handle add to watch list is finished. Now similarly, we can create remove from watch list for this particular button as well, right? So we can create remove from watch list and add to watch list, right? So for that, what we will be doing is we'll just move to our code right now, right? Yes, project right now. And when you click on this, right, now I need a toggling effect over here. So when I click on this particular button, this should change to a cross button if a movie has been added inside my watch list, right? And to do that, I'll need to set up some conditions. So basically, I'll need to check that if this particular movie has been already added inside my watch list, and if that's the case, then I'll basically change this particular button to a cross button, so that now I want to delete it, right? I want to give the feature to delete it now. So that's what we have to do. So for that, I'll be creating another function, right? Exactly. And we'll just similarly pass it down as prop. So if a function over here is handle add to watch list, then we can also create a function that is remove from watch list. Exactly. So now what we can do, we can create another function that is handle remove from watch list, right? Add to watch list, remove from watch list. Great. And this will also take the movie object that we need to delete. and this will be an arrow function. And now we can just write some logic over here. So what we can do, we can just delete that, right? So filtered watch list, right? Basically we'll need to filter it out. So how can we delete a particular movie? We can just say that, okay, watchlist.filter, very simple logic. I'm writing it over here, watchlist.filter, and I'll just take the movie that has come up to be deleted, and then we can just compare it with the ID, right? We can just compare it, we can just return that wherever this ID matches, do not return that, and rest, return everything, right? Very simple logic, movie object dot ID. So whatever movie has come up, we'll get that ID, and we'll just keep on comparing them with the movie object's ID, right? One by one, we'll just keep on comparing them, and whenever they will match, we'll delete them. We will delete that, and others will just keep it, right? So the specific movie that you have selected will be deleted, right? So that's basically the logic over here. So this is written, and now we can just set the watch list to our new watch list, just like that. Not new, this will be filtered now. Filtered watch list. Great. So now we have these two methods in place: add to watch list, remove from watch list. Similarly, we'll have to pass remove from watch list from our movies to our movie card, like that. So we'll just do the same thing. So over here, I'll just pass my handle remove from watch list, right? And for this prop, that is basically a handle remove from watch list, I'll have to pass this method handle remove from watch list, right? So now your movies component should also expect a handle remove method. So over here I'll just pass that, okay, you now need a handle remove from watch list as well. So handle remove from watch list. So this is your prop, and now this particular method can be used over here, that is the movie card, right? So over here also we have handle add to watch list, and over here we can just have handle remove from watch list, and this will just have handle remove from watch list, right? So we are passing it down like this, and now what you can do is you can just have a handle remove from watch list over here as well. Just like that. So now as we were adding it, now we should be able to remove it as well. But now we should be writing some conditions over here, that how you can handle that and how you can remove that, right? How to add, when to add, and when to remove. So we need both the conditions over here. So to have these conditions in place, we'll just use a little function, right? We'll just use a function, and that will be over here, right? We'll just use this function. Let me just tell you how we are going to use this function, right? So suppose that there is this function is contain, right? Or does contain. Let's call this as does contain, right? So basically what this does contain function will do is it will take the movie object and it will check that if this movie object is already available inside your watch list or not, right? If this movie object is already available inside your watch list or not. So I'll just loop through all the watch list, right? I'll just say let I equal to 0 and I less than watch list, I less than watch list dot length, and basically I'll need to get my watch list as well as my prop. So I will just get my watch list over here as well. This is important, right? So let's get this watch list, and this watch list should be sent from my movies, from my app.jsx, right? From here. So I need to send my watch list as well. I need to drill it down, right? So I need access to that watch list. So what I will do is I'll just say that, okay, this particular movies component will have a watch list prop as well. And in this prop, I'll just receive my watch list. Just like that. I'll just receive my watch list, and then this is going to be my watch list, right? So this I'm sending up over here, watch list, and not watchlist, WTCH watchlist, right? And this we should receive over here as well. Handle add to watchlist, remove from watchlist, and the watchlist, right? So now we have this watchlist, remove, handle, everything is in place. Then what we can do, we can just pass our watchlist over here. And we are already receiving this in movie card. So now I think this must be sorted. Yes. So now we can just have watchlist.length, and for this particular length, now I need to check that if any one of these movies inside the watchlist exists inside my watchlist, inside basically this watchlist or not. If it exists, we'll show the cross button. If it doesn't, we'll show the add button, right? So that's basically why I'm writing this particular code. So I'll just complete this function, right? So length, and then we can just say I plus plus, and this will be done, right? So I'll just say if my watch list that I have received consists of the ID and it matches with the movie ID, movie objects ID, right? Then what is the case? That my movie exists. So I'll just return true. And if it doesn't, then I'll just return false. Right? So this is going to be my function. And now where we can use this function? We can use this function in place of this add and delete button, right? Add and delete button. So what we can do over here is that we can come down to this particular part and we can just say that does contain. We can pass our movie object and we'll just check that if this is returning true or false, right? So we'll use the question mark and colon operator. So if this is the case that it exists, then what we need to show? We need to show a div. Right? We need to show an entire div that basically will have the remove button, just writing it for now, or we can just show our add button, that is this div. That's it. Let me just format this and I'll write the code for remove button as well. So let's format this up for now. Yes. So if it contains the movie object, we'll show the remove button, or else we'll show the add button. So now let's just build this particular div as well, the remove button div. So over here, what we need? We again need a cross button, right? So for that, let's get to our HTML emojis and let's get that cross symbol if we can get. Next. Okay, let's check this out. Cross emoticon in HTML, right? So cross mark emoji symbol, let's check this. Yep, this one. And let's see that what is the code for this. Yes, this is the code for this, right? So I'll just copy this code and I'll use it, right? So let's use it over here like that. And then with this particular div, with this particular button, we can just give this the entire same styling. So I'll just copy this class name, paste it over here, and we can just have our on click for this as well. And for this on click, for this div, the on click will be handle remove from watch list, and we have already written the logic for it. Handle remove from watch list, like that. Let's format this. And yes, so this is how this entire code looks. Now let's check this out, that if this is working or not, right? So let's check this. If I go to eat plus react, let's refresh everything. Okay, something is wrong. Let's check if there is any error. Cannot read properties of undefined reading length. Okay, so if I see over here watchlist dot length, okay, so this watch list is not being treated as an array. And why it's not? Let's check. Alright, so I got my mistake. Basically, what I was doing is I was just using the watch list L as capital, right? This will be small, right? So I've done all the props as small. I was also doing this L as capital, so that's why it was not able to match those watch lists, right? And we were not able to pass it down as props. But now the spellings are right for watch list, and if I go to my movie card over here, also I've fixed the spellings for the watch list, right? So now this is entirely working. Your project is working. Now it will not say that error that watchlist.length is not defined or something like that, right? And also, uh, if you see this particular prop, right, over here also we have our spelling wrong a little. I don't know how it happened, but it has. So I'll just make the spellings a little correct. So handle remove from watch list, the prop's name will be, and over here as well, the prop's name will be handle remove from watch list, right? Handle remove from watch list, like that. So you have passed it down, and let's check this again once if everything is correct spelling wise. Handle remove, we are passing handle remove, we are taking this in the movies component, we are sending this as a prop, handle remove from watch list, and we're sending this function as a prop to handle remove from watch list. Similarly, we're sending this to our movie card as well. Handle remove from watch list, handle remove from watch list. So all the spellings are correct right now. Let's just now go and let's just check that if all of our functions are working or not. So I'll just go to inspect, I'll just go to my console and I'll refresh everything. So now I have these arrays of these movies. Let's add these movies 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So I've added 5 movies, and now you see my array has 5 movies. So basically this array is going to be my watch list array. This is my watch list array, right? So this has 5 movies, and now if I want to delete someone, so if I click on this, so this says handle remove from watch list is not a function, right? So again, this is one issue over here, that handle remove from watch list is not being treated as a function. And why not? Let's go to movie card 2926, handle remove from watch list. This is not being treated as a function, right? Let's check this. Why? Handle remove from watch list, handle remove from watch list, we're getting it over here, and we're getting this from our movies app, right? Handle remove from watch list, this L and this L, right? Let's change this L to list, let's change this L to list as well. Now let's check this. So now that error is gone, I guess, right? So let's go to our console and let's now try to hit this again. Right? There can be some spelling mistakes, right? Sometimes they happen, but yes, you can debug them on your own, right? That's the part of development. All right, so we have all of these areas right now. Let's add some movies, right? Let's refresh and let's just add some movies. So let's add Ring of Chaos, The Creator, Fast X, Dragon Kingdom, Oppenheimer, all of these movies. So now again we have 5 movies. Now let's try to delete someone of them, any one of them. So I can just click on this cross button, and you see handle remove from watch list is again not a function, right? Why is this happening? You just have to check handle remove from watch list, handle remove from watch list, handle remove from watch list, app.js, handle remove from watch list. Okay, right, I guess everything is sorted now. Props, props, props. Great, let's try this for the last time. I guess now everything will work. Too many spelling mistakes. 2, 3. Let's try to delete this. Yes, now we're able to delete our movies as well, right? So now your particular function is working, right? It was just that spelling thing which was not allowing you to actually use that function, but I've changed the spelling and now everything is working as it should, right? So this is how what we can do is we can achieve the add to watch list functionality and delete from watch list functionality. But now if you see, if I refresh this particular page, everything just vanishes away. So I do not have that state maintained. I do not have that data saved anywhere so that I can populate my watch list with whatever movies I have added over there. So what we need to do is we need to use local storage so that we can save all of our data inside that local storage, and whenever you open your app, you get that data from local storage and you populate your watch list, right? So that we'll see on the next lecture. Thank you.